Namaste. Welcome to Samskriti. We are now in Sarga 3 of Adhyatma Ramayana's Ayodhya Kandam. King Dasharatha, having made all arrangements for installing Rama as the Yuvaraja, goes to his quarters in the palace. On entering his quarters, he was surprised to notice the absence of his dear wife Kaikeyi, and ponders and inquires a group of attending maids, who replied that the queen has shut herself up in the chamber of angry protest, Krodha Bhavanam, and they don't know the reason for the same. Stunned, Dasharatha then enters the Bhavanam and asks Kaikeyi, who is lying on the bare floor, abandoning all her jewelry and wearing soiled clothes, as to the reason for such a behavior and as to why she is not talking to him. Extremely distressed by her conduct, he asks her the cause for her dissatisfaction. He assures her that he shall leave nothing unturned to please her. When there is no response, he finally swears by his dear Rama that he shall do whatever pleases her. When Kaikeyi heard that, she starts replying and told Dasharatha that if he is truthful, then he is bound to carry out her request immediately. Recounting the incident of saving his life in a critical situation earlier, she reminds him of the 2 boons that he had offered, which were still unfulfilled and intact in his custody. Of those, one boon was to make her son Bharata the Yuvaraja, utilizing all the arrangements made for Rama's installation. The second boon that she wanted was that Rama should be exiled to the forest of Dandaka immediately. She wanted Rama to be dressed in ascetic's garb of tree bark, wearing matted locks and devoid of all ornaments, and to live in the forest, subsisting on roots and fruits for 14 years. All this she wanted to be executed before the next sunrise. She also threatened Dasharatha that if there was any delay in carrying out her wishes, she would end her life in his very presence. King Dasharatha, hearing the shocking and frightening words of Kaikeyi, just fell on the floor like a mountain struck by thunderbolt. Coming to his senses, he started wondering if he was experiencing an evil dream or if he had lost his mind. He then addressed his wife, who was standing like a tigress, and asked her as to why she was speaking words that would virtually take his life away. He told her that all along she had only been speaking about the numerous virtues of Rama, the one who looks on her and Kausalya alike, and now he wondered how is it that she was speaking against him. He also conceded to her first boon of making Bharata the Yuvaraja, but requested her to let Rama stay on in the palace. He assured her that no harm would come to her from Rama. So saying, he wept and fell at the feet of Kaikeyi, but she, with her eyes red with anger, adamantly refused to budge and again threatened to commit suicide. Words of sarcasm were aimed at the king, and Kaikeyi scared the king, saying that he is sure to be consigned to hell if he fails to do according to his promise after swearing in the name of Rama. The hapless king, in an ocean of sorrow, fell unconscious on the floor. The night that was spent felt like an year. At sunrise, when the bards began their recitals to awaken the king, Kaikeyi dismissed them away angrily. At daybreak, seeing that the king hadn't awakened, Sumantra, the minister, hurried to the palace. On finding the king grief-stricken, he inquired, to which Kaikeyi replied that the king had spent a sleepless night uttering the name of Rama and asked him to usher Rama as quickly as possible. Being commanded by Dasharatha too, Sumantra hurries to Rama's palace, conveys Dasharatha's need, and ushers both Rama and Lakshmana to their father's presence. Reaching the palace, Rama found Vasishtha and others already assembled there. He hastily proceeded to his father's presence and prostrated before him. The king, in an attempt to embrace Rama, could not do so as he fell down calling his name. Surprised at this, Rama embraced him and stretched him in his own lap. The 3 women cried on seeing Dasharatha unconscious, and hearing the cries, sage Vasishtha also comes to the palace. When Rama inquires the cause of his father's sorrow, Kaikeyi tells him that he alone can relieve the king of his sorrow. He has to help the king fulfill his plighted words, and tells him about the 2 boons that she had asked. She further adds that the fulfillment of the boons is now in the hands of Rama, for the word Putra means one who lifts his father from hell. On hearing her words, Rama felt agonized, as he feels that there is no need to speak in this strain. He says that he is ready to give up his very own life for the sake of his father, and would even give up on Sita or Kausalya or even the kingdom. He also swears that he shall do whatever his father wants him to do. Kaikeyi further insists that all the preparations made for his installation must now be utilized for installing her son Bharata as the Yuvaraja, and this is her first boon. She also tells Rama that he should wear tree bark and matted locks and go to the forest at once and live there for 14 years, subsisting on the diet meant for ascetics. The king, she claims, is rather ashamed and hesitant to speak directly about it to Rama. Rama, with all magnanimity, concedes that the kingdom can go to Bharata, but he didn't quite understand as to why the king was not speaking to him directly when he is right there. On hearing this, the sorrow-stricken king tells Rama to take possession of this kingdom by killing or imprisoning him, saying that he is treading the path of injustice under the influence and domination of a woman, assuring Rama that it would not be sinful for him to do so. Dasharatha felt that if Rama were to do so, then he shall not be tainted by the stain of untruth. So saying, he starts lamenting without any restraint, and Rama, taking some water, washed the king's eyes and tries to console the king with kind words. And he says that he would be 100 times more happy to live in the forest than to rule the kingdom. This arrangement would ensure that Dasharatha's promise is fulfilled, and Rama's departure to forest would be beneficial, as it would assuage the pangs of Mother Kaikeyi. He then takes leave of Dasharatha after circumambulating him and goes to Kausalya, his mother, who was performing homas for Rama's welfare and was now meditating in her palace. She did not notice Rama, who was standing right in front of her, as she was intently meditating on Mahavishnu, who is ever resplendent and whose nature is constituted of sheer bliss. We shall move on with the chanting now. Tatho Dasharatho Raja Ramabhyudaya Karanat Adishya Mantri Prakritihi Sanando Grihamavishate Tatra Drishtva Priyam Raja Kimetaditi Vihwalaha Yapura Mandiram Tasyaha Pravishte Mayi Shobhana Hasanti Mamupayati Sakim Naivadya Drishyate Ityatmanyeva Sanchintya Manasati Viduyata Paprachadasinikaram Kuto Vaswamini Shubha Nayati Mam Yatha Purvam Matpriya Priyadarshana Tavochuh Krodha Bhavanam Pravishta Naiva Vidmahe Karanam Tatra Devatvam Gaccha Nischetumarhasi Ityukto Bhayasantrasto Raja Tasya Samipagaha Upavishya Shanairdeham Sprishan Vaipanina Bravit Kim Seshe Vasudha Prishte Paryankadin Vihayacha Mam Tvam Khedayase Bhiro Yato Mam Navabhashase Alankaram Parityajya Bhumau Malinavasasa Kimartham Bruhi Sakalam Vidhasye Tava Vanchitam Ko Va Tava Hitam Karta Nari Va Purushopi Va Same Dandyascha Vadhyascha Bhavishyati na Samshayaha Bruhi Devi Yatha Pritihi Tadavashyam Mamagrataha Tadidanim Sadhayishye Sudurlabhamapi Kshanat Janasi Tvam Mama Swantam Priyam Mam Swavashe Sthitham Tathapi Mam Khedayase Vritha Tava Parishramah ब्रूहि किं धनिनं कुर्यां दरिद्रं ते प्रियङ्करं धनिनं क्षणमात्रेण निर्धनं च तवाहितं ब्रूहि कं वा वदिष्यामि वधार्हो वा विमोक्ष्यते किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन प्राणान् दास्यामि ते प्रिये मम प्राणात् प्रियतरो रामो राजीवलोचनः तस्योपरि शपे ब्रूहि त्वद्धितं तत्करोम्यहम् इति ब्रुवाणं राजानं शपन्तं राघवोपरि शनैर्विमृज्य नेत्रे सा राजानं प्रत्यभाषत यदि सत्यप्रतिज्ञोऽसि शपथं कुरुषे यदि याञ्चां मे सफलां कर्तुं शीघ्रमेव त्वमर्हसि पूर्वं देवासुरे युद्धे मया त्वं परिरक्षितः तदा वरद्वयं दत्तं त्वया मे तुष्टचेतसा तद्वयं न्यासभूतं मे स्थापितं त्वयि सुव्रत तत्रैकेन वरेणाशु भरतं मे प्रियं सुतं येभिः संवृतसंभारैः यौवराज्येऽभिषेचय अपरेण वरेणाशु रामो गच्छतु दण्डकान् मुनिवेशधरः श्रीमान् जटावल्कलभूषणः 14 समास्तत्र कन्दमूलफलाशनः पुनरायातु तस्यान्ते वने वा तिष्ठतु स्वयं प्रभाते गच्छतु वनं रामो राजीवलोचनः यदि किञ्चिद् विलम्बेत प्राणान् त्यक्ष्येत वाग्रतः भव सत्यप्रतिज्ञस्त्वं एतदेव मम प्रियं श्रुत्वैतद्दारुणं वाक्यं कैकेय्या रोमहर्षणं निपपात महीपालो वज्राहत इवाचलः शनैरुन्मील्य नयने विमृज्य परयाभिया दुःस्वप्नो वा मया दृष्टो ह्यतवा चित्तविभ्रमः इत्यालोक्य पुरः पत्नीं व्याघ्रीमिव पुरस्थितां किमिदं भाषसे भद्रे मम प्राणहरं वचः रामः कमपराधन्ते कृतवान् कमलेक्षणः ममाग्रे राघवगुणान् वर्णयस्य निशं शुभान् कौसल्यां मां समं पश्यन् शुश्रूषा कुरुते सदा इति ब्रुवन्ती त्वं पूर्वम् इदानीं भाषसेऽन्यथा राज्यं गृहाण पुत्राय रामस्तिष्ठतु मन्दिरे अनुगृह्णीष्व मां वामे रामान्नास्ति भयं तव इत्युक्त्वा श्रुपरीताक्षः पादयोर्निपपातः कैकेयी प्रत्युवाचेदं सापि रक्तान्तलोचना राजेन्द्र किं त्वं भ्रान्तोऽसि उक्तं तद्भाषसेऽन्यथा मिथ्या करोषि चेत् स्वीयं भाषितं नरको भवेत् वनं न गच्छेद्यदि रामचन्द्रः प्रभातकाले जिनचीरयुक्तः उद्बन्धनं वा विषभक्षणं वा कृत्वा मरिष्ये पुरतस्तवाहम् सत्यप्रतिज्ञोऽहमितीह लोके विडम्बसे सर्वसभान्तरेषु रामोपरि त्वं शपथं च कृत्वा मिथ्याप्रतिज्ञो नरकं प्रयाहि इत्युक्तः प्रियया दीनो मग्नो दुःखार्णवे नृपः मूर्छितः पतितो भूमौ विसंज्ञो मृतको यथा एवं रात्रिर्गता तस्य दुःखात् संवत्सरोपमा अरुणोदयकाले तु वन्दिनो गायका जगुः निवारयित्वा तान् सर्वान् कैकेयी रोषमास्थिता ततः प्रभातसमये मध्यकक्षमुपस्थिताः ब्राह्मणा क्षत्रिया वैश्या ऋषयः कन्यकास्तथा छत्रं च चामरं दिव्यं गजो वाजी तथैव च अन्याश्च वारमुख्याह्या पौरजानपदास्तथा वसिष्ठेन यथा ज्ञप्तं तत्सर्वं तत्र संस्थितं स्त्रियो बालाश्च वृद्धाश्च रात्रौ निद्रान्नलेभिरे कदा द्रक्ष्यामहे रामं पीतकौशेयवाससं सर्वाभरणसम्पन्नं किरीटकटकोज्ज्वलं कौस्तुभाभरणं श्यामं कन्दर्पशतसुन्दरम् अभिषिक्तं समायातं गजारूढं स्मिताननं श्वेतछत्रधरं तत्र लक्ष्मणं लक्षणान्वितं रामं कदा वा द्रक्ष्यामः प्रभातं वा कदा भवेत् इत्युत्सुकधियः सर्वे बभूवुः पुरवासिनः नेदानीमुत्थितो राजा किमर्थं चेति चिन्तयन् सुमन्त्रः शनकैप्रायाद् यत्र राजावतिष्ठते वर्धयन् जयशब्देन प्रणमन् शिरसा नृपम् अधिखिन्नं नृपं दृष्ट्वा कैकेयीं समपृच्छत देवी कैकेयी वर्धस्व किं राजा दृश्यतेऽन्यथा तमाह कैकेयी राजा रात्रौ निद्रां न लब्धवान् राम रामेति रामेति राममेवानुचिन्तयन् प्रजागरेण वै राजा ह्यस्वस्थैव लक्ष्यते राममानय शीघ्रं त्वं राजा द्रष्टुमिहेच्छति अश्रुत्वा राजवचनं कथं गच्छामि भामिनी तच्छ्रुत्वा मन्त्रिणो वाक्यं राजा मन्त्रिणमब्रवीत् सुमन्त्ररामं द्रक्ष्यामि शीघ्रमानय सुन्दरम् इत्युक्तस्त्वरितं गत्वा सुमन्त्रो राममन्दिरम् अवारितः प्रविष्टोऽयं त्वरितं राममब्रवीत् शीघ्रमागच्छ भद्रन्ते राम राजीवलोचन पितुर्गेहं मया सार्धं राजा त्वां द्रष्टुमिच्छति इत्युक्तो रथमारुह्य सम्भ्रमात् त्वरितो ययौ रामः सारथिना सार्धं लक्ष्मणेन समन्वितः मध्यकक्षे वसिष्ठादीन् पश्यन्नेव त्वरान्वितः पितुः समीपं सङ्गम्य ननाम चरणौ पितुः राममालिङ्गितुं राजा समुत्थाय ससम्भ्रमः बाहू प्रसार्य रामेति दुःखान्मध्ये पपातः हाहेति रामस्तं शीघ्रम् आलिङ्ग्याङ्केऽन्यवेशयत् राजानं मूर्छितं दृष्ट्वा चुक्रुषुः सर्वयोषितः किमर्थं रोदनमिति वसिष्ठोऽपि समाविशत् रामः पप्रच्छ किमिदं राज्ञो दुःखस्य कारणम् एवं पृच्छति रामे सा कैकेयी राममब्रवीत् त्वमेव कारणं ह्यत्र राज्ञो दुःखोपशान्तये किञ्चित् कार्यं त्वया राम कर्तव्यं नृपतेर्हितं कुरु सत्यप्रतिज्ञस्त्वं राजानं सत्यवादिनं राज्ञा वरद्वयं दत्तं मम सन्तुष्टचेतसा त्वदधीनं तु तत्सर्वं वक्तुं त्वां लज्जते नृपः सत्यपाशेन सम्बद्धं पितरं त्रातुमर्हसि पुत्रशब्देन चैतद्धि नरकात्रायते पिता रामस्तयोदितं श्रुत्वा शूलेनाभिहतो यथा व्यथितः कैकेयीं प्राह किं मामेवं प्रभाषसे पित्रर्थे जीवितं दास्ये पिबेयं विषमुल्बणं सीतां त्यक्षेथ कौसल्यां राज्यं चापि त्यजाम्यहम् अनाज्ञतोऽपि कुरुते पितुः कार्यं स उत्तमः उक्तः करोति यः पुत्रः समध्यम उदाहृतः उक्तोऽपि कुरुतेनैव स पुत्रो मल उच्यते अतः करोमि तत्सर्वं यन्मामाह पिता मम सत्यं सत्यं करोम्येव रामोद्विर्नाभिभाषते इति रामप्रतिज्ञां सा श्रुत्वा वक्तुं प्रचक्रमे रामत्वदभिषेकार्थं सम्भारा संवृताश्च ये तैरेव भरतोऽवश्यम् अभिषेच्यः प्रियो मम अपरेण वरेणाशु चिरवासा जठाधरः वनं प्रयाहि शीघ्रं त्वम् अद्यैव पितुराज्ञया 14 समास्तत्र वसमुन्यन्न भोजनः एतदेव पितुस्तेद्य कार्यं त्वं कर्तुमर्हसि राजा तु लज्जते वक्तुं त्वामेवं रघुनन्दन श्रीराम उवाच भरतस्यैव राज्यं स्यात् अहं गच्छामि दण्डकान् किन्तु राजा न वक्तीह मां न जानेऽत्र कारणम् श्रुत्वैतद्रामवचनं दृष्ट्वा रामं पुरस्थितं प्राह राजा दशरथः दुःखितो दुःखितं वचः स्त्रीजितं भ्रान्तहृदयम् उन्मार्गपरिवर्तिनं निगृह्य मां गृहाणेदं राज्यं पापं न तद्भवेत् एवं चेदनृतं नैव मां स्पृशेद्रघुनन्दन इत्युक्त्वा दुःखसन्तप्तो विललाप नृपस्तदा हा राम हा जगन्नाथ हा मम प्राणवल्लभ मां विसृज्य कथं घोरं विपिनं गन्तुमर्हसि इति रामं समालिङ्घ्य मुक्तकण्ठोरुरोदः विमृज्य नयने रामः पितुः सजलपाणिना आश्वासयामास नृपं शनैः सनयकोविदः किमत्र दुःखेन विभो राज्यं शासतु मेनुजः अहं प्रतिज्ञां निस्तीर्य पुनर्यास्यामि ते पुरम् राज्यात् कोटिगुणं सौख्यं मम राजन्वने सतः त्वत्सत्यपालनं देव कार्यं चापि भविष्यति कैकेय्याश्च प्रियो राजन् वनवासो महागुणः इदानीं गन्तुमिच्छामि व्येतुमातुश्च हृज्वरः सम्भारश्चोपह्रियन्ताम् अभिषेकार्थमाहृताः मातरं समनुश्वास्य अनुनीय च जानकीम् आगत्य पादौ वन्दित्वा तव यास्ये सुखं वनम् इत्युक्त्वा तु परिक्रम्य मातरं द्रष्टुमाययौ कौसल्यापि हरेः पूजां कुरुते रामकारणात् होमं च कारयामास ब्राह्मणेभ्यो ददौ धनं ध्यायते विष्णुमेकाग्र मनसा मौनमास्थिता अन्तस्थमेकं घनचित्प्रकाशं निरस्तसर्वातिशयस्वरूपं विष्णुं सदानन्दमयं हृदब्जे सा भावयन्ती न ददर्श रामम् इति श्रीमध्यात्मरामायणे उमामहेश्वरसंवादे अयोध्याकाण्डे 3 सर्गः।